What happens when a dying hyena is trapped and a lion approaches it? Three men decided they knew how it would end. What happened next forced them to rethink the very idea of power in the wild. You ever had one of those days where the ground just decides it hates you? No warning, no storm, just bam, life hits a pothole the size of your regrets. That's how it started for her. Not me, her. I was just the guy who caught it on camera. It was barely past 7 a.m., sun already punching the earth like it owed it money. I'd hiked 2 miles from my busted Land Rover to check a motion-activated camera I left strapped to an acacia weeks ago. Figured I'd get some gazelles, maybe a bored elephant waving its ears. You know, normal savanna footage for my next conservation grant pitch. Instead, what I saw made my spine itch. There she was, young hyena, limping through frame like she'd been in a bar fight and lost. Nothing aggressive about her, no snarl, no crazy eyes, just pure exhaustion. Her ribs were sticking out, one leg dragging. She sniffed around the edge of the frame and then, poof, gone. I rewind. Watch it again. Same thing. She just vanished. No predator, no chase, no warning. 1 second she's limping, the next, nothing. It looked like the earth swallowed her. So now I'm standing out there, 1 foot in real life, the other in whatever mystery this was. I grab my gear, sling the backup camera around my neck and march to the coordinates, like the idiot I always am when something doesn't make sense. And there it was. Not a small dip. Not a crack. A hole. A legit pit. Maybe 10 feet deep, shaped like a collapsed tunnel. No markings, no traps. Nature just had a bad day and decided to open up a mouth. I looked down and saw her. She wasn't dead. She was trying to stand, body shaking like a rusted machine. 1 leg bent the wrong way. She let out this low growl, more like a cough, really, and then looked straight at me. And let me tell you something. There's nothing cute about a hyena, but that look, that wasn't fear. That was disappointment, like she expected the world to screw her, and here I was, just another nail in her coffin. I crouched down, pulled my flask out, and cursed my timing. No cell signal, no backup crew. Just me, a pit, a camera, and 1 badly injured creature who didn't ask for any of this. So I did the only thing I could do. I hit record. Not for clout, not for likes. I needed proof, just in case this went sideways. In case someone needed to know that, yeah, I tried. That this moment mattered. That she mattered. I looked around, grabbed a branch, tried lowering it. She flinched. Understandable. I would too. Then I heard it. A sound you don't forget. Software heavy, measured, pause, big ones. I turned, and there he was, a lion, full-grown, dust-covered, battle-scarred, walking like he owned the planet. He didn't look at me, didn't growl, didn't make a scene. He looked straight down into the pit, like he'd been following her the whole time. I didn't breathe. I didn't move. Just watched. And yeah, my camera. It kept rolling. Because whatever this was, it wasn't normal. And something told me this story had only just begun. What happened next changed everything. You do not want to miss what went down when 2 predators locked eyes across that pit. Stay with me. I've filmed crocodiles brawling under bridges, watched elephants mourn their dead. One time I even caught a leopard steal a radio from a campfire. But nothing prepared me for that moment. You'd think a lion walking up to a helpless hyena would be predictable. A quick end, circle of life, roll credits. But this was a whole different kind of documentary. He stood there, tall, still, watching her with that look predators give prey right before the curtain drops. And I'll be honest, I was ready to climb a tree. But the weirdest part? He didn't make a move. Not a snarl, not a twitch. Just stood like a statue carved out of heat and dust. I whispered into the camera, this is either a standoff or something seriously off script. Meanwhile, she, the hyena, just lay there, barely breathing, but she saw him, and she didn't panic. No thrashing, no growling, just this stillness, like she knew him, or maybe like she'd given up. Now I've seen animals act strange when injured. Shock does funny things. But this was two creatures staring at each other across a 10-foot grave like they had history. The lion took a step forward. My hand tensed around the cam grip. Another step. I didn't breathe. He leaned over the edge, just enough to see her fully. And then he did something I still can't wrap my head around. He looked up, at me, not like I was a threat, like I was a witness. You ever get stared down by something that could tear you in half without even trying, and it just chooses not to? Yeah, that changes you. I started backing up, slow, no sudden moves, just polite human survival mode. And as I moved, my boot slipped, and I went down, straight on my back. Camera flew, water bottle hit a rock and cracked, dust in my eyes, heartbeat in my throat. By the time I scrambled to my feet, he was gone, just like that. Vanished into the brush like he was never there. I ran back to the pit. She was still there, still breathing, still waiting. But now I had a problem. The lion didn't attack, didn't eat, didn't growl. That wasn't normal. That was a message. And in places like this, messages come with consequences. I had to act, fast. I built a crude ramp from branches, rope, and dumb luck. Lowered it slowly, talking to her like she was a scared dog. Easy, come on, just trust me a little. I'm not the one with claws. She didn't move. Sun beat harder. My skin felt like baked clay. And then I heard it again. Footsteps, not lion, heavier, slower. I turned, heart pounding. 3 men, locals, not rangers, and not happy. They spotted me, the gear, the pit, the hyena. And their expressions? Let's just say, I was not on their favorite people list. The one in front had a machete slung across his chest like he meant business. "Why are you helping that thing?" he asked. And just like that, it clicked. To them, she wasn't just an injured animal. She was a pest, a scavenger, something you leave to rot. I tried explaining that she didn't attack, that she needed help. Didn't matter. She brings others, then they kill livestock. So now I wasn't just some guy with a camera, I was the problem. They moved closer, and that's when it got really complicated. This is it, the turning point. What happens next flips everything upside down. You're not going to want to miss what went down when the pit, the people, and the lion all came crashing together. Stay close. Let me paint the scene for you. A hyena, broken and barely hanging on, down in a pit that might as well have been a grave. Me, covered in dust and bad timing, standing over her with a rope and a camera. And 3 locals, all muscle and 0 patience, looking at me like I just insulted their ancestors. The guy in front, broad shoulders, machete hanging like a threat, took a step closer. "You filming this?" "Yeah," I said. "For documentation. She's injured." He squinted at me like I'd grown an extra head. "You city people always think you understand wild things. That thing down there? It eats calves." "She's not eating anything right now," I said, pointing to her limp body. "She's dying." He didn't flinch. That's when the second guy chimed in, voice low and slow. "You want to help her? Help her die faster." And I swear something snapped in me right there. Not rage, not fear, something colder, something made of straight-up resolve. Because that wasn't just cruelty. That was system. A system that says if it's ugly, if it's loud, if it doesn't look like it deserves saving, leave it. I turned my camera toward them and hit record. "You mind repeating that?" I asked. The machete guy stepped back just a little. The third one muttered something in his language and pointed at the sky. That's when we all heard it, the deep, steady rustle of brush moving. Not fast, not panicked, deliberate. And out of the golden grass, like a ghost rising from the land, he came back. The lion, same one, same calm, same eyes that held too many stories. He walked right up to the edge of the pit again, this time not alone. Behind him, 3 more lions, a pride, not charging, not growling, just watching. And let me tell you, those men went from tough to tense in 2 seconds flat. Because out here, when lions show up and don't attack, that means one thing: they're making a point. The machete slipped a little in his grip. I raised my voice, calm but sharp. You want to explain to them why you're standing over an injured animal with a blade out? No answer. Camera rolling, pride staring, hyena breathing, barely. Then without a sound, the lion stepped closer to the pit. He looked down at her again, then glanced sideways, at me. I didn't move. He turned, walked back toward the brush. The pride followed, and just like that, gone. The men said nothing, because what could they say? They left 5 minutes later. No threats, no speeches. Just the kind of silence you only get when the land itself calls your bluff. It took me 2 more hours to get her out. Branch by branch, inch by inch, I built a ramp. She didn't resist, didn't fight, just crawled, slow, shaking, determined. When her paws finally touched level ground, she collapsed. I knelt beside her, not touching, just being there. Because sometimes that's what saving looks like. Not some big hero moment, just staying when others walk away. The next day, I uploaded the footage. The lion, the men, the moment of silent power. It went viral. But more than that, it mattered. Because the comments weren't about fear, they were about respect. For her, for him, for the idea that maybe, just maybe, we've been wrong about what deserves saving. Sometimes the loudest statement is made in silence. Sometimes the king doesn't roar. He just stands and lets you realize what kind of world you're standing in. And this time, we caught it all on camera.